Good evening. It's my pleasure to call this meeting of the City of North Charleston Planning Commission to order. I'm Sharon Reed. I serve as chairperson, and we welcome each one of you to tonight's meeting. Before I explain the sign-in sheets and all of that, we have a new member of the Planning Commission that I wish to introduce to you, Mr. Kevin Mock. He is the newest commissioner, and we welcome you.
Thank
and
you.
we look forward to a long engagement with you. Okay, before we begin, there were sign-in sheets at the table out there that I hope you all saw. When we have the public hearings, we invite those of you from the community to speak to any issue regarding a certain piece of property that you wish to. But we always like you to sign in if you can't. Now, if you can. If you have not signed in, it's okay. It is a public hearing, and we will entertain those who just want to come up and speak for 3 minutes. And I'm going to say that again later on, for 3 minutes each. All right. We'll begin with consideration of the minutes from the October 13th meeting. Are there any corrections to the minutes as published? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion we
I move that we accept the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes from the October 13th meeting as published. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The minutes stand correct, stand approved. All right, we move to the first request for rezoning. 2896 Casey Street. You'll hear the staff report.
The first item is a proposed annexation and rezoning of the property address to 2896 Casey Street, Charleston County TMS 48414000073 from Charleston County R4 low density residential to M1 light industrial. This is located in Council District 2. The property can be seen here highlighted in blue on the map. It's currently zoned R4 in the county. Upon annexation, the applicant has requested M1 light industrial zoning. Just a repeat of that prior statement. The subject property is designated suburban residential. On the city's future land use map, this designation is applied to areas where the city intends to sustain lower density neighborhoods. The principal use of land within this designation is low density, single family residential developments with large yards and open space. The M1 zoning would not be consistent with the suburban residential category. This is the subject property seen here in the photos. It's currently an undeveloped lot. Adjacent properties along Ashley Foxfield Road near the subject properties are developed with a mix of commercial uses. However, Ashley Heights neighborhood is comprised of single family residences, mobile homes, and some undeveloped wooded lots. You can see those here in the photos provided. Staff's recommendation Given the subject property's location, the residential character of Casey Street and South Oak Ridge Circle, and the lack of support from the comprehensive plan, staff is recommending denial of the proposed rezoning of the property from the staff recommended R2 multifamily residential to M1 light industrial.
All right, thank you. Do any of the commissioners have questions for staff? Hearing none, is the applicant here? Is the applicant here? Is that the applicant?
Here for planning commission?
Are you?
Which item are you here for? Are you here for the annexation and rezoning?
You want the address of the,
Yeah, no,
5623 Dobson?
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry
We
to put you on the
we were
spot,
trying
no,
to-
we're on a different item, we just wanted to make sure.
Identify.
Thank you.
So the applicant is not here. All right. This is an advertised public hearing. Persons may speak to this item, and you have 3 minutes each. I have one person who has signed up, Lisa Hodges.
Yes, ma'am.
You can come forward.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Reed. Thank you, everybody here on the staff. My name's Lisa Hodges. My father and I have owned 2817 South Oak Ridge Circle over 50 plus years. And the property that you are referring to is adjacent, directly beside us. In no way, shape, or form would I like for this to happen. I would love to see some residential properties put beside us, but not any type of industrial zoning. There could be noise emissions. It would lower our property value because of types of odor, any type of noise. The appearance would could devalue our property. Our property is not separated by a highway or a waterway. We are directly right there beside it. I don't know, sorry, I'm very nervous. I don't know if the federal or state regulations will be adhered to by OSHA or the Department of Transportation. Also, our neighborhood is not a very big neighborhood. It's very small. We do have some residents that have been there for a very long time, like myself. Unfortunately, when we do have problems in the area, we don't have but we do have a quick response that comes very quickly. But I don't foresee, we are surrounded by residential people. There are not businesses in our neighborhood like this. The property was cleared quickly. There was live oak trees that were cleared. It broke my heart. There was dirt added to this property to make it higher, which made my property flood easier. And I think enough damage has been done. I don't know as to, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know as to what quality of life for my future generations are they expected to have if we're gonna turn the whole neighborhood into a whole business. I mean, Ashley Phosphate, I had a house already on Rock Street that got sold. I sold to a gas station. I wanna be able to keep this home and keep it as a value and somewhere for my grandkids to play at. And that's all I wanna say. I just would like for y'all to please deny this. Residential properties are fine, but not a business. We've lived there for 50 plus years. And it means a lot to me, you know? It's one of the first the first only home I've ever had. That's all I wanna say, guys. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you're here and you allow me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, this is an advertised public hearing, so is there anyone else who wishes to come forward regarding this proposed rezoning on Casey Street?
I'd like to say something. My name is Marcy Duan, and I live in Midland Park Terrace subdivision. And several years ago, we ended up with a M1 parcel of land. And now it backs up to Mazik Road, and the people on Mazik built a beautiful house, and they built a warehouse right behind his house. And we didn't know about the rezoning until the last meeting, and so there was nothing that we could do. And of course it passed, but I'm afraid that something like a warehouse or a storage facility will go in to this property on Casey. Because I don't believe that there's any room for M1 zoning in a residential area. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak regarding this rezoning request on Casey? Hearing none, the floor is now closed. And we will entertain a motion.
I move for the approval of the staff recommendation of a denial.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we recommend denial of this request to City Council. Ready for question? All in favor of the motion signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next item is request for rezoning Stall Road.
Next item is a proposed rezoning at 7347 Stall Road, Charleston County TMS number 478-13000016 from B1 Limited Business to B2 General Business in Council District 2. The property can be seen here on the map, highlighted in blue, is currently a vacant and cleared lot. The subject property is designated as employment center on the future land use map, which is intended to create a commerce-focused environment with ease of access to supportive services in residential areas to relieve congestion. While this designation can support large-scale office and industrial uses, the surrounding land uses would make B2 zoning incompatible with the area's mid-block context. As you can see here again, highlighted in blue, the color on the map does show that employment center designation. See the subject property here in the photos. Again, cleared lot, Stall Road. Adjacent properties, majority of the lots in the neighborhood fronting on Stall Road are zoned R3, which is mobile home. R2, which is multifamily residential, most are occupied by single-family houses and mobile homes. Given the subject property's proximity of other residential uses in the mid-block location of the subject property, staff is recommending denial of the proposed rezoning of the property from B1 limited business to B2 general business.
All right, thank you. Do any of the commissioners have questions from staff? Is the applicant here? Would you like to come forward to speak?
Yes, question is, get the zoning change to B2 from B1. Basically to give a broader range of use for the property. We tried several different things to be able to put on the property and use it, like a few mobile homes, said we couldn't do it. Can't understand why when we're surrounded by mobile homes. Tried to do a duplex onto the property. There was an issue with that. Some other issues with like being able to bring in like a small used car lot, you know, be able to put on, you know, just different things that could generate some income onto the property. And we feel like if we can get that B2 zoning, which is just a little bit down the block, as you can see in the red there at the bottom right hand of the page, you know, that would allow us some more things that we can do with the property. Not exactly sure what the reason is for the denial. I'm not quite understanding that. If somebody can explain that to me. When you have the same zoning, just a few blocks over, or on the same street, excuse me, just a few blocks down.
I mean, the recommendation is based on the location of the property. It's surrounded by R3 zoning and R2 zoning, as you can see here. This is R3 around, which is mobile home park. This is R2, which is multifamily residential. Your closest B2 is further down. B1 is more appropriate to be directly adjacent to residential uses.
So it's just because of the positioning of the property?
That's correct.
So what can you actually put on the property that it won't be a problem?
You may wanna have that conversation with staff
After the meeting.
after the meeting.
We're happy to discuss that further with you, and if you had come in previously, we could have chatted about that.
I've actually been in several times and met with the folks over across the hall here. And still haven't been able to get some exact answers. The best thing that was told to me was to try to rezone it to this particular zoning, which y'all are denying now, so. You said wait until after this is over?
We haven't voted yet, so,
Okay,
yeah, we haven't voted yet.
okay, so once this process is done, is something else lined up that we can, look forward to?
But you can always talk to staff and sit down and decide what may work and why it can't work. But we have not, the commission has not voted yet, so a decision has not been made as to what we will recommend to council. We are in the process of doing that now.
Okay. Sorry, this is my first time at one of these, so
Sure, I
just trying to
understand.
understand how this process works.
I understand.
Any other questions for me?
Do you have any questions for
I
the
do.
applicant?
In your process with trying to rezone this, have you spoken to folks within the community associated with the area which you're trying to rezone? Have you spoken to the neighbors and so forth?
We've only spoken with one neighbor, and I thought he would be here, but I'm not sure if he's here or not, but, outside of that, no. Like I said, what we're trying to do there is being done in some of the other areas. I'm not sure why, there's a restriction on this use right now, so just trying to understand it a little better so we can know how to move forward.
All right, this is a public hearing. There are two people who have signed up to speak and correct my pronunciation because I'm not quite sure. Is it Reno? Oh, that was you, okay, I'm sorry, you were the applicant. I have another name here, I believe the last name is Spivey.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm William Spivey. I own 7043, which is contiguous adjacent to the property. I've never met Tony. He has done a tremendous amount of improvement to that property, tremendous. I've been there for over 10 years. We desperately need local people making long-term investments into this area. I'm sort of in agreement, we don't need any more corporate warehouses and things of that nature. We need our local folks, local people taking their own money and investing in our area and having skin in the game as to the quality of our neighborhood and our area. I am one of those residential people you're afraid of offending, and if you wanna offend me, let's turn down hardworking, honest people who wanna improve our area. Let us have a voice in what's being said. I am one of those residential people. Please allow him to continue to improve that property and improve the quality of life there.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
I think if you, I don't know if you got any better pictures on there of it, but if you look at the property itself, you'll see all of the work that's been done on it. And you compare that piece of property to the other parcels around it, it's a night and day difference. We're not trying to bring, something in there that's gonna lessen the value of everything else around it. We're trying to raise that. So we're just trying to get the correct zoning to make that appropriate, make that happen. It's very frustrating trying to move forward with it, and we're running into all these roadblocks. We take care of the land, pay the taxes on it. We want to be able to do something on the property. Please, we're asking for some help.
And since he gets to comment, he is raising the value of my property, which in turn raises my taxes to you. So I have to pay more for him to improve his property, and I am all for it. Please, let us improve our neighborhood.
I am sure that we are all in agreement that we want to see all of our neighborhoods in North Charleston improve. Keep in mind, we do not approve or disapprove projects. Our role is to recommend zoning. So that's all that we are considering. The zoning of the property, not what project goes on the property. We have nothing to do with that. Only the zoning, okay?
Zoning inhibits being able to proffer and provide jobs to people in that neighborhood who are going to increase and invest in that neighborhood.
But the zoning is based on things like the comprehensive plan that we just approved for the city, that council approved for the city. If you look at that comprehensive plan, the zoning is there, and we went to the public about the different zonings and all of that. So what we are doing tonight is looking at the request for rezoning. That's all we're doing, not individual projects. We don't have anything to do with individual projects as long as it's within the zoning. Okay? All right, are there any others who wish to speak? Hearing none. The floor is now closed, and we will entertain a motion. Don't everybody speak at once.
Well, I move to deny the staff recommendation and move forward with that property.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we denounce the approval from, the recommended approval from staff, from the staff report, and that
That
we,
recommended denial.
yes, that we deny their
Okay, got it.
recommendation. And move to approve the rezoning request. Okay? And it's been seconded, yes?
Third.
Thank you, sir, but you can't use it. Okay. Is there discussion? Discussion?
The staff will still get with him afterwards, right? Is that still the plan?
Oh, we can definitely
Well,
discuss
but
with the applicant.
That's what I'm saying,
After
like,
the
regardless of what
fact,
we- Yeah, regardless of what we do here, you
And
guys will
this-
still be able to talk, right?
after this recommendation, it goes
if
to
it
city
goes to
council
council.
next month. So there will be first reading, committees will be a second opportunity for the public to provide input, and then final reading, actually.
That's what I'm asking. So before this goes to council, will you guys have an opportunity to talk, or will it be
It will have
after it
been
goes to-
done
can.
by that time.
The recommendation,
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out how you can get his questions before it actually goes to in front of council.
But how will
That's what I'm
that, the
asking.
recommendation, the recommendation would
I
have
just want
been-
him to have the information he needs before it goes.
That depend on him and when he gets with.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Will they have an opportunity to?
Could you withdraw it and call somebody and find
That's
out
what,
what
I
you
think
can
that's
do?
what I'm trying to figure out, like what's the best way for him to get the information that he needs before it goes to council? Would it be a denial, would it be recommending something else?
I think if he was to withdraw it, he would have to withdraw it himself versus what we just
If
did.
we approve if we send forth the recommendation, he would have to withdraw it himself.
Cause it would benefit
It
to have
would
that
go,
conversation.
it
I
would go
understand
through
where
the
staff's coming
council,
from
the
in this
recommendation would,
recommendation.
for us to,
Finish.
other discussion? I have to tell you, I'm leery about this particular zoning for an area like that. You know, like I mentioned earlier, when we say this property is eligible for rezoning, remember, it doesn't matter what the person puts there if it is a part of that rezoning. So there are a number of things that can go in as the rezoning request is what? B2. So consider all of the things, I think everybody has a copy of that, all of the things that are allowable in B2. And you don't have any B2 in the immediate vicinity, you have it, I did my site visit, and B2 is further down, but not in that specific area. So I would be concerned. I
We've
would,
heard that before too.
once we
We've seen that
say
before.
rezoning to B2, anything that's on that list, and there's a lot of stuff on the list about what is available in B2. So I would be concerned, I'm certain, I still don't want to deny anybody, any neighborhood to advance, but I am concerned that it is not quite understood that we rezone, we recommend rezoning. We do not recommend projects. And consider that B2 is, I don't have my list here.
everything from stores to funeral homes to storage
Exactly.
units, so if the property sells.
That would be my B two.
Yeah, if it sells, it won't match in that area.
Yeah, general business. B two is general business. B one, the zoning that it has now is limited business. General business includes liquor stores, funeral homes, commercial recreation facilities, gas stations. So it's a little bit more than B one would allow. That would be my concern. That would be my concern.
It's also staff's concern that
Yeah.
plays into the recommendation for denial is because it's in the middle of a block, it's a residential block, B2 zoning allows for more auto-oriented uses, and it's not necessarily an appropriate location for those uses right here. There are still other uses that are more compatible in B1 for neighborhood level businesses that can be done on this property. So that's the basis for staff's recommendation.
Was there a sign posted on that particular piece of property, just like they normally do before the meetings? You know, like I was asking the gentleman here, you know, whether he spoke with folks within the community. Only person I saw from the community that came out was kind of positive, and I figure, you know, most people would just like you reading off the list would be too. If they were against it, we should have had an outpouring of people. I mean, I'm not certain, you know, the way that community works. I mean, I'm familiar with the area, but a lot of times when folks are generating pushback, you normally have a lot of people moving towards saying, well, we don't want that in our neighborhood or whatever the case may be. So I mean, we had a point where we have made a decision where we're gonna do it, and we're waiting to kind of vote on it, and it still has to move further up the chain before it gets that approval anyway.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
What's the property adjacent to it? Is it all resident? What,
It's B one.
he lives there?
So the current, this is B1 here, this is R3, which is the mobile home park zoning, and then R2 across the street, which is multifamily residential.
I thought if you start changing the zoning for that, then what happens when the next person to the adjacent properties want, well, I want that too. And then you start moving away from residential to something in a whole neighborhood. We didn't ask for 3 properties to be a business per se, so I mean, maybe that's what staff is thinking before you start. Every property's got a different zoning. It's not an equal thing for what's around it.
I think for a lot of people, that's like the major concern. It's not necessarily what the current property owner wants to do. Is if that property changes hands, are you okay with the next property owner and whatever could go there? So that's also something that you would consider as well. So.
But at the same time, we would be concerned about what is going there.
We do.
Because it is generally B2, not B1, B2. So that would be my concern. I did my site visit yesterday, and there's a lot of residential surrounding it, and I just don't see B2 sitting in the middle of that. I would strongly recommend that while we deny, I would recommend that we deny this particular request for B2, and that we make it a point to try to bring the applicant and the staff together to try to see what it is that he wants to do to improve the community and try to find something. I just, you know, between B1 and B2, it's already B1. So it seems to me that it would be very easy to find something that would suit. Like I said, we can't recommend projects, but with staff, he can certainly work with staff directly. And
His intent on
Pardon me?
putting in on what his intention.
Yeah, what his intentions are, what will work, what is, these are planners. And so, we looked at the comprehensive plan and we worked through that. And I don't want to see us just go in another direction when it's not necessary. I certainly understand that the gentleman has a piece of property and he wants to do something with it. The neighborhood is supportive, that he wants to do something to improve the neighborhood. My concern is that if we recommend B2, we're starting something that we won't be able to, that the neighborhood won't be able to handle. Just the zoning itself, that the neighborhood won't be able to handle that long term.
I can see from if we were talking about putting in like a bunch of biker bars or some go-go bars or something like that, but we're talking about putting in something that's gonna uplift the community and
Sir, I
bring value.
understand that, but understand our position. We have nothing to do with what you put in there if we approve B2.
We
We
can't take
haven't-
any
and
more
we
comment
really
from
can't. We
the
really
public.
can't. We're
It
the-
can't be, it's not a
Yeah,
back and forth
It can't
discussion.
be.
This
We
is
closed
discussion
the
by the
hearing.
board.
So it's time for the commissioners to talk among themselves and make a recommendation. Okay? So that part is over.
Two parcels that's next to it, it's not in the city, do we know what that is?
Yeah, it's on here.
Charleston County R4 low density residential.
Residential, low density residential.
So basically the equivalent of our R1, single family residential.
See, that's the Charleston County zoning.
Right.
That it would be the same as our R1. Okay, further discussion?
We do have a motion on the
Yes, we
floor.
do. We have a-
Motion to approve, that's been seconded.
Yes. Are we ready to vote?
Just to confirm, the vote right now is for approval of the rezoning, not approval of staff.
Approval
Yes.
of that was the motion.
Making sure.
Mr. Bellamy?
Nay.
Mr. Crawford? Aye. Mr. Duan? Mr. Fife?
Nay.
Mr. Mock?
Nay.
Mr. Scharf?
Nay.
And Ms. Reed?
Nay.
And that is 6-1 to deny approval. This recommendation will be forwarded to the mayor and council with the next opportunity for public input at the Public Safety Committee of City Council on January 15th. That meeting will be located in this room on the 15th at 5:30.
And I'm going to ask that you get together, Mr. I never did get your last name, but I'm going to ask that you get together with staff before leaving here and setting up a meeting so that you all can talk about what will work for you and for the neighborhood within the zoning that exists, that B1. It's not like it's residential, it is B1 already. So I'm going to ask you to meet with the staff to set something up so that the neighborhood can be helped and that your needs are taken care of as well. Okay? All right, the next item. Grayson Street, we'll hear the staff report.
I have two little girls that don't find this as fascinating.
Question, Ms. Reed. Do I need to be here on January 15th in case the council does not accept your denial.
If you would like to come in and provide your input,
Okay,
that's.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Have a blessed night.
Okay, we'll hear the staff report for Grayson Street rezoning request.
This is a proposed rezoning of the property addressed as 1809 Grayson Street, Charleston County, TMS number 469-1200316 from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Multifamily Residential. Property can be seen here, highlighted in blue on the property, on the map. And as stated, it's already currently zoned R1, they're requesting R2 multifamily. The current existing land use on the property is a single family home. You can see the current zoning here in the neighborhood. We have a mixture of R1 zoning, R2, and a little bit of B1 and B2 to the north along North Carolina Avenue. Subject property is designated as traditional neighborhood development, which is intended to support higher density neighborhoods with smaller lots and a mix of housing types. This designation also encourages infill and redevelopment opportunities, promoting walkable neighborhood units and appropriately scaled commercial uses. Proposed R2 zoning is consistent with the traditional neighborhood development designation. Subject property can be seen here in the photos. It's currently developed with a single family home. The adjacent properties can be seen also in these photos. The property is within the Chicora Cherokee neighborhood, which is predominantly R1 with some R2, B1, and B2 zoning, as I previously stated. The lots fronting North Carolina Avenue are zoned R1, R2, and B1. Most are occupied by single-family houses or multifamily houses and some commercial buildings. Given the traditional neighborhood development designation, given that the traditional neighborhood development designation supports multifamily and appropriately scaled commercial uses, staff is recommending approval of the proposed rezoning of the property from R1 single family residential to R2 multifamily residential.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions for staff? Is the applicant here?
Hey, good evening. My name is Jeff. I'm looking to build some affordable multifamily on this lot. Feel like it's a great use for it. There's R2 and R1 in the neighborhood. Look forward to hopefully having an opportunity.
Do any of the commissioners have questions for the applicant?
Thank you.
This is an advertised public hearing. No one has signed up to speak, but if there are those of you who wish to do so, you may come forward now and give us your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes. Your name?
Craig Logan, address is 1920.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. Craig Logan.
Craig Logan, and your address?
1929 Quitman Street, Quitman.
That's North Charleston, right?
Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Thank you all for allowing me to come and speak. I serve as neighborhood vice president for the Chicora Cherokee Neighborhood Association. We got information about this potential rezoning, and I had the opportunity to share this out with some neighborhood residents. Also, our neighborhood association meets every fourth Monday of the month. But I say that because typically we know, well, in Chicora right now, really Chicora is a high demand area. We see gentrification coming from the south and also the north, right? And so while we understand kind of the housing demand, the need for it, affordable housing is very important, and also historical neighborhood character is even more important for us. While we've seen an influx of developers purchase lots in the area, we really like to establish kind of community agreements to where development is able to come into the community association, have conversation with neighbors, ensure that the property is a just fit for the neighborhood. And also, I think the ultimate thing is affordability. The other piece is affordable housing. Like currently, right now, there are no terms around that. So while we say affordable housing, we don't know what terminology or what defines affordable housing. So the neighborhood would love an opportunity to work and have a conversation with the developer about the proposed rezoning and what is gonna be applied to the lot, so that we ensure that it does not displace current neighborhood residents, or also it doesn't bring gentrifying neighborhood residents to the community. We're not opposed to gentrification, but we love gentrification with a purpose. And so we like to, again, encourage development community to work hand in hand with community, so that, again, community members have an opportunity to share their insights, thoughts, and ensure just that whatever development is going in there is a good fit for the community. So again, just wanted to share that information out too as well. I do understand that there are already some R2 in the neighborhood, but there is predominantly single-family residents within the neighborhood. And again, considering the Low Country Rapid Transit and all the development that is happening surrounding the neighborhood, this is just an opportunity for, this type of gentle density to kind of come into the neighborhood. So the neighborhood will request that the Planning and Zoning Commission deny this, so that we have an opportunity to converse with the developer and ensure that this is a right fit for our neighborhood and our association.
To speak again?
Wait a minute. Let me clarify that we do not approve projects. We recommend rezoning, that's all. I do suggest that regardless as to what happens with the vote, that the two of you need to get together before you leave this site. I would suggest that. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak before we close the floor? Okay, the floor is now closed for the public hearing, and we will entertain a motion. Motion, please.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we recommend approval of the request for rezoning as presented. Is there discussion? Hearing none, we're ready to vote.
The motion on the floor is a recommendation of approval of the rezoning from home single-family residential to R2 multifamily residential. Mr. Bellamy?
Nay.
Mr. Crawford? Nay. Mr. Duan? Mr. Fife?
Aye.
Mr. Mock?
Nay.
Mr. Scarf?
Aye.
And Ms. Reed?
Aye.
All right, the vote is 3 to 4 to approve, so that recommendation fails. And we will this item will be forwarded to the mayor and council with the next opportunity for public input, Public Safety Committee of City Council on January 15th.
All right, thank you. the next item, English Street.
Next item on the agenda is the proposed rezoning of the property addressed as 1912 English Street, Charleston County TMS 469-1600122, from R1 Single Family Residential to R2 Multifamily Residential in Council District 10. See the subject property here highlighted in blue. On the west side of Sproul Avenue, it's existing single family home. Current zoning of the property is R1. Adjacent zoning is mostly R1 with R2 directly adjacent and B1 on the frontage of Sproul Avenue. This property is designated as traditional neighborhood development within the mixed-use corridor of Sproul Avenue, as can be seen here by the crosshatch on the property, the mixed-use corridor. The proposed R2 zoning is consistent with both the corridor and neighborhood development designations, which promote a cohesive integration of residential and commercial uses in close proximity. The mixed-use corridor land use designation is intended to promote development of mixed uses that will enhance access to a wider range of services for nearby neighborhoods. See the subject property here in the photos and with the public notice sign. It's currently a boarded up single family home. The property is located within Chocora Cherokee neighborhood and is predominantly zoned R2 with some R2, D1 and B2 zoning interspersed throughout. English Street has residential character that is developed with a mix of single and multifamily uses. You can see those adjacent properties in the photos there. Given the support from the comprehensive plan and the residential character of the neighborhood, staff is recommending approval of the proposed rezoning of the property from R1 single family residential to R2 multifamily residential.
Are there any questions for staff? Is the applicant here?
I'm not gonna get into any projects because we know we do not approve projects here. I would just ask that the commissioning and the planning team again reference the zoning requirements and the approval based on the surrounding properties. We already have an R2 right next door. We are looking at a R2 right across the street, and so we are surrounded by higher density properties that are in line with the future transition plan, the future comprehensive plan as well. So not thinking about property or the actual project that is going on, I too am looking to do affordable development here as well. However, I know that that is not what we're doing here, so I would ask that you consider the actual benefits and the alignment with the comprehensive plan and the R2 zoning and what is nearby.
Are there any questions for the applicant?
Just have you guys talk as well.
I have not, but I do know Mr. Logan, and I have no problem doing that.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you. Again, this is an advertised public hearing. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak regarding this request? Mr. Logan, right? Let me put this down for this one. You can see, I got information.
Yes, ma'am. Again, same thing, just representing the neighborhood association. Again, our biggest thing is how development is done. We want to ensure equitable development and also community engagement throughout the entire development process. I think what this can do is set a standard of how development should happen, especially given Chocora has been a long community that has not had a lot of investment in it. And again, with considering everything that is happening around it, we know the development is coming. It's coming, we're not against it. However, I think we just want to ensure that there is community involved within those processes. So I just ask that you consider that as well.
Thank you. This is an advertised public hearing. Is there someone else who wishes to speak to this matter? I need your name and address.
Alexis McNeely, and I'm
Wait, give me a minute.
McNeely,
Oh, McNeely, McNeely.
LY,
Your address?
1921 Baxter.
Thank you.
My biggest concern, just in the Chicora neighborhood, with him, I'm not necessarily opposed to just development, but just a lot of these lots are really small. This particular lot is 1/10 of an acre. Putting multiple families onto that small of a lot, you're talking about a lot of vehicles. We're already having parking issues. Especially on Baxter, we have a lot of duplexes and multifamily homes. Cars are overflowing everywhere. And it's just, with the multifamily, I get that we do need more affordable housing, but multifamily tends to be, leans more towards the short-term rentals and less long-term residents. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you. The public hearing is still open. Is there anyone else who wishes to come forward regarding this request? Hearing none, the floor is now closed. Is there a motion?
Motion we deny staff's recommendation.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. You said
I want
you're recommending to approve the request.
to deny the request.
Oh, okay. Right. You said staff's recommendation, so I got confused.
Deny
Okay.
staff's recommendation.
But deny the request.
Right.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we deny this request, that we recommend to council denial of this request for rezoning. Discussion?
Do we know how many times this has come up for this neighborhood? Or,
This
I-
particular one?
well, if we already have R2 in the neighborhood. I'm familiar with it. Every time a house comes up for sale or a lot comes up for sale, it goes multifamily over there. And it's like, we're gonna transition a whole neighborhood to that as houses come open, because we know about the redevelopment, but like for the neighborhood, has this come up before? And what was the process? I mean, I won't single out one developer for denial from us, but how does the rest of the community feel coming to the meetings, and how many times have we represented and what has happened, or is this the first time?
No, it's come out before. We're actually working with a developer in the community right now who wants to do some like tiny home kind of thing on further in the neighborhood. But again, I mean, that's been going on for about a year now, right? And I think it is just, again, how I just say it's a two-way thing, right? So we want to make sure community and stakeholder engagement is included in that process. I think the developer, this particular developer is learning that, so he is coming to neighborhood association meetings, having conversations with us. We met out on the lot, giving him feedback on his proposed design for the property, and he's taking that feedback and kind of, taking our feedback to update his designs on it. So again, I think it is just about how do we engage community within these developments, especially within the Chicora Cherokee neighborhood.
I understand the concern for the neighborhood, especially myself being on an HOA in my community. I do believe that developers should be communicating with the association. I believe that is vital, and I believe it's great oversight to miss that or to not communicate with the association. But based on the zoning, I do agree with staff's recommendation for this. It does follow the future plan. It does match the area. The zoning next door is the exact same. I do agree with staff's recommendation for this. Putting projects aside, putting what's gonna go this side strictly on zoning. I agree with staff taking the personal aspect out of it. Again, I do agree with the association. I think a developer should always communicate with the association, but just strictly looking at the zoning, I do agree with staff in this.
Other discussion? Okay, I need to get clarification, cause I've gotten confused. The motion on the floor is that we deny the rezoning request.
Correct.
So an aye vote means that we deny.
Correct.
A nay vote means that we allow the recommendation to go through. I just
Yeah,
needed my
to
head
stand,
clear.
the recommendation would
for that.
stand.
Okay,
And
I
would go
just
forward to
needed,
city council
I
as
just
a
needed my-
recommendation of approval.
I just needed clarification.
Yep, oh, that's fair. So to restate that again, the motion on the floor is a motion to recommend denial of the rezoning from R1 single family to R2 multifamily residential. Ready to vote? Alright, Mr. Bellamy? Aye. Mr. Crawford?
Aye.
Mr. Juwan?
Aye on denial.
Mr. Fife?
Nay.
Mr. Mock?
Aye.
Mr. Scarf?
Nay.
And Ms. Reed?
Nay.
Again, we have a 3-4 recommendation. So the recommendation going forward will be to deny the rezoning, and this item will be at the January 15th Public Safety Committee for further public hearing.
Okay, thank you. Next item. Rezoning request for Durant Avenue.
Next item is a proposed rezoning of the property address is 4621 Durant Avenue, Charleston County TMS number 470-0400-127 from R1 Single Family Residential to ON Neighborhood Office in Council District 8. Property can be seen here on the map highlighted in the blue outline. It's currently developed with a small office building on the property. As can be seen here on the map, property is zoned R1 and the surrounding properties are R1, except across on the other side of Durant, where it is B1, across the intersection there. Subject property is designated traditional neighborhood development, which supplied areas of the city to provide and or sustain higher density neighborhoods, smaller lots, a mix of housing types and a small scale commercial uses. Therefore, neighborhood office zoning at this site would be consistent with both the established neighborhood character and the intent of the land use designation. Subject property can be seen here in the photos as well as the public notice sign that was posted on the property. It's currently developed with a small office building. Adjacent properties can be seen here in the photos. The surrounding area is developed with single family residential type buildings along with some small scale commercial properties. This portion of Durant Avenue is primarily zoned R1 single family residential and it's consistent with the established residential character of the neighborhood. Given support from the comprehensive plan and the residential character of the neighborhood, staff recommends approval of the request to rezone the property from R1 single family residential to O1N neighborhood office.
You You've heard the staff report. Do you have any questions for staff? Hearing none, is the applicant present? Please come forward.
Good evening. My name's Hayden Albert. I'm the owner of the property. I bought this property a little over a year ago from a gentleman who had been running his tax office, Mr. Michael Fox. He was a very prominent member of that neighborhood and that community for decades and decades. The gentleman was 70 years old and had been running his tax office out of there for probably 50 years. So I am simply asking to continue using it as an office. I did not understand when I bought it that it was grandfathered in at that time, and I missed that timeline. So the property is built as an office, is set up as an office, and there's a small, concrete parking lot in the front. I would like to continue using it as such. We have went ahead and mailed all of the neighbors in the community to try to contact them and earn their support for this. That is all I have. Thank you.
Wait, are there questions for the applicant? This is an advertised public hearing. If there are those who wish to speak, someone has signed up. Oh, that's the applicant. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak regarding this rezoning request?
We did receive an email. I can read it. So the email is from Brady Quirk Garvan. And it reads, Councilman Hudson, city staff, I saw the zoning sign at 4621 Durant Avenue. We live around the corner from this property and can see it from our back window. I wanted to write in support of this zoning to neighborhood office. For many years, it already served this purpose, and I think it fit in nicely with the neighborhood. There are dozens of us who work from home within a few blocks of this area and would fit in with the character of the area. I am glad it was not zoned for broader commercial purposes or retail, but think neighborhood office is very fitting. Many thanks, Brady Quirk Garvan at 1223 Chesterfield Road, North Charleston, 29405.
Is there anyone else? You need to give me your name and address.
My name is Sherman Smith.
Sherman Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
Address?
4624 Durant Avenue. Not directly across the street, but across the street.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I just have a question. Is rezoning this as a office? Is that gonna open the door for later on, if say if an office comes there and fails? Is it gonna be able, some other type of business is gonna be able to move in there? Or is that gonna open the door, a Pandora's box, so to speak?
I can address that. ON is supposed to be neighborhood level offices, so lower impact. It would not be, larger type of commercial development. Only uses that are permitted in the ON zoning district would be permitted, so similar to like a tax office or other smaller low impact offices could potentially be located in that zoning district.
Okay, my concern was, earlier I heard you mention about a B2, and there's a list of things that could go in a B2. And that was my concern, if the ON has a list of things that might come in there that's much smaller.
Not really. It,
No.
ON basically says business and professional office, maximum height is 25 feet measured at the highest point of the building.
Okay.
And so that's it. That's all that's here for
All right, I was just trying to get some clarification.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak regarding this request? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed and we will entertain a motion.
Accept staff's recommendation.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept staff's recommendation and recommend this rezoning request to council for approval. Discussion? Hearing none, we're ready to vote.
Motion on the floor is a recommendation of approval of the request to rezone the property from R1 single family residential to O1 neighborhood office. Mr. Bellamy? Aye. Mr. Crawford?
Aye.
Mr. Duan?
Aye.
Mr. Fife?
Aye.
Mr. Mock?
Aye.
Mr. Scarf?
Aye.
And Ms. Reed.
Aye.
So that is unanimous. This recommendation will be forwarded to the mayor and council with the next. My apologies, I didn't stop the timer. It will be forwarded to the mayor and council at the January 15th Public Safety Committee meeting for any further public input.
I thank you. The next item is request for rezoning Dorchester Road.
Should be Dobson.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. That's the out of order. Oh, where do we see Dobson? Oh, here it is, right. I'm sorry. It is 5623 Dobson Street. Forgive me.
Say, proposed rezoning the property addressed as 5623 Dobson Street, Charleston County, TMS 473-1300-140 from R1 single family residential to R2 multifamily residential. Property can be seen here on Dobson, just south of Remount Road, highlighted in blue. Property is currently developed as a single family home. See here on the zoning map, R1 surrounded on all sides by zoning would be to Remount. Subject property is designated as traditional neighborhood development within the mixed-use corridor of Remount Road. The mixed-use corridor is intended to support higher density neighborhoods adjacent to principal transportation corridors throughout the city, as well as provide for commercial and retail. This designation also encourages infill and redevelopment opportunities, promoting walkable neighborhood units and appropriately scaled commercial uses. The proposed R2 zoning is consistent with the traditional neighborhood development and mixed-use corridor designations, as can be seen on the map. Subject parcel is currently developed with a single family home, as can be seen here in the photos. The Charleston Farms neighborhood was zoned R2 multifamily residential until 2003, wherein a majority of the neighborhood was rezoned to R1 single family residential. The area is developed with a mix of single and multifamily residential uses. You can see here photos, multifamily development, as well as single family development within the neighborhood. Given the support from the comprehensive plan and the residential character of the neighborhood, staff is recommending approval of the proposed rezoning of the property from R1 single family residential to R2 multifamily residential.
Do any of the commissioners have questions for staff? Hearing none, is the applicant here?
Hello, Elizabeth. I am not seasoned at this, so what I heard you say a minute ago about in 2023, so Charleston Farms.
2003.
2003. So my question, I guess, is, am I reading this correct? So there is a trailer park actually on these lots here, but on this P, it says it's single family.
Yeah, so use and zoning don't always correspond. So there isn't always a direct connection between those two things. Back in 2003, there was a neighborhood-wide rezoning.
Right.
Dropped the zoning from R2 multifamily to R1.
Uh-huh.
So that is why the majority of the neighborhood is currently zoned R1. I can't speak for why the trailer park would not have been zoned R3, which would have addressed that use at that time.
Right. So yeah, so looking at here, it appears that all this, just by the key, it appears that it's R1, but it's actually a trailer park. It's R2. And then the same with, and that is directly across the street from this property. And then there's also apartments that are also showing in here that are R1, but would actually not be R1. I guess my point is confusion for me that before I get my 3 minutes. So I guess I just wanted to make this awareness that there's an apartment complex across the street here, and there's a trailer park across the street here from, if I'm standing on that property.
It's fine.
I would add that those probably are legally non-conforming
Yes.
uses because the property or that neighborhood was R2. That apartment was likely established when the neighborhood was R2, which did allow
Prior
for
to.
that establishment, and so now it's legally non-conforming, though the current zoning is R1, because they've continued that use, it is legally non-conforming.
Okay, so that would have been prior to 2003
Yes,
or
ma'am.
whatever, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just so I'm understanding that, but and I've heard, everybody that has gone before me that the job is not to approve a project. But I do wanna say that, so this is a single family home that I own as a rental property. I have a long-term resident in the home. There's a 600 square foot garage that's attached. It was existing there, it's been there for 60 years. I've all along planned to convert that garage to an apartment, like a mother-in-law suite. And started talking to builders, and they said, we need to make sure that we can do this. So I'm trying to follow the right steps. When I say I'm requesting for multifamily, my vision is I would never put an apartment building on that property. All I wanna do is to be able to make this 600 square foot garage into a mother-in-law suite. So if there's some kind of in between, between R1 and R2, or, this is probably a common request. I wanna do the right steps, but I don't wanna run into, I'm just trying to convert a garage to an apartment. I'm not changing the appearance, I'm not changing anything, except inside the footprint of that garage. My letter that I wrote, I don't know if y'all have copies of this, but there's plenty of parking. I don't have any issues with parking, so it would just be one extra parking spot.
Ma'am, can I, I'm gonna interrupt real quick. It sounds like what you'd like to do is an accessory dwelling unit.
No, there actually is an existing, I think what at one time, a long time ago, was an accessory dwelling unit. It's a tear down, so if you're seeing something on that, if you're seeing something that looks like an ADU, it is not an ADU. This is an attached garage that it doesn't show a very good picture on there, but it is not an ADU.
Basically, you do want to change the zoning to R2, right?
If that's the only way to be able to convert the 600 square foot garage, which is not, yes, there is an ADU on that property, but it's terrible, it's a tear down, so that'll go away. But what I'm talking about is the apartment that is, the garage that is attached.
Main building.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're requesting R2.
Yes.
So
It would
rezoning.
be a
Yeah,
multifamily dwelling, that's the difference, okay. Cause it's located in the same building, so it'd be multifamily.
Yeah, I mean, it shares
You're
the
good.
same roof, everything.
You're fine.
Okay.
We needed to clarify, so
Right.
thank you.
Right.
Do you have any
questions?
questions
I
for
have
the
a question.
applicant?
I have a question. It may be for Tim. If it's not considered an ADU, is this gonna be, they would have to add a separate electrical, like a meter if they wanna, like, rent one side out versus the other side, is that correct?
They don't have to. It's not required to add a separate panel or utilities. The way that our ordinance is written, we allow a detached accessory dwelling unit, not an attached accessory dwelling unit. So in this case, that's why she would need and require the R2 multifamily residential. But specifically to your question, no, separate panel, separate utilities are not specifically, it can be operated separately.
That's another question.
Also has something staff just clarification in regards to this. If this was detached as like a detached mother-in-law suite, then that would still classify as R1 in this category, just because it's sharing that common like breezeway basically.
It could be operated without the need for a rezoning if it was a detached garage that was being converted. Our ordinance does allow, based on the size of the lot,
This is basically getting kind of hit like in the technicality more than anything.
yeah, it is, unfortunately, because it's an existing attached garage in the same building under a single roof. It becomes a multifamily building once that gets converted. To be able to meet her needs, it would need to be R2 to be able to proceed.
Just also another side note, this existing garage that's been there for 60-something years does have plumbing. There is a bathroom already out there. So, for me to be here asking for rezoning for multifamily, to me sounds way overboard for what I'm actually wanting to do. So yeah, any questions?
Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, thanks for listening.
This is an advertised public hearing. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak regarding this matter? Anyone else? Hearing none, the floor is now closed and we will entertain a motion.
I'll motion for approval.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this request for rezoning to R2. Is there discussion?
When we put in approvals for rezoning for this, we went through this in Wonder Woods. She sells this, and I'm not against her doing it. But if something happens and she has to sell that, now it's R2, somebody does want to put an apartment building there, it's already zoned for that. So then what happens in the future on that? It's like, well, it's zoned for that, too bad. If the neighborhood don't want it, it's zoned for that.
That's correct.
So that, I mean, that opens the door.
The entire neighborhood was R2 previously, just to point that out, the basis for our recommendation.
So currently, there's like an apartment complex right next door to it.
Any other discussion?
It's on the same street, so you don't need a reason here.
Okay.
Two, and then right down here is R, so this is R1.
If there's no further discussion, we are ready to vote.
The motion on the floor is a recommendation of approval for the rezoning from R1 single family residential to R2 multifamily residential. Mr. Bellamy? Aye. Mr. Crawford? Aye. Mr. Duan, the recommendation is approval for rezoning from R2 to from R1 to R2. Do you wanna vote? Aye. Mr. Fife?
Aye.
Mr. Mock?
Aye.
Mr. Scarf?
Aye.
And Ms. Reed?
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Recommendation approval, this project will next be heard at the Public Safety Committee meeting on January 15th.
Now we're Dorchester, right?
Now we should be at
Okay.
Dorchester Road, yes ma'am.
The next agenda item, rezoning request, Dorchester Road.
This is a proposed rezoning of the property addressed as 5728 Dorchester Road, Charleston County TMS 40803000004 from B2 General Business to M1 Light Industrial. Property can be seen here highlighted in blue on Dorchester Road. It is currently zoned B2 and is being operated as a commercial business. See the existing zoning of B2 and the adjacent similar zonings across the street, and to the south and east. To the north is E1. The subject property is designated as employment center within the mixed-use corridor of Dorchester Road. The employment center areas generally benefit from proximity to one another with ease of access to supportive services and residential areas to relieve congestion. The mixed-use corridor land use designation is intended to promote development of mixed uses that will enhance access to a wider range of services for nearby neighborhoods. The proposed M1 zoning would not be consistent with the comprehensive plan's designations. You can see the subject property here in the photos, being operated as a commercial business here and here. Surrounding areas comprise of varying businesses along Dorchester Road, religious institutions, and a mix of residential uses. The surrounding area has a mix of townhomes, apartments, and across Dorchester Road is the Dismute Motor Park. Given the lack of support from the comprehensive plan, the subject property's location along a major transportation corridor and proximity of other residential uses, staff is recommending denial of the proposed rezoning of the property from B2 General Business to M1 Light Industrial.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for staff from the commissioners? Hearing none, is the applicant here?
My name is Jessie Gesmond. We own the property. We are actually a swimming pool company, and so we're applying for this M1. The front of our building, you guys have older pictures, but so we have about 50 employees. the majority of the front of the office is to sell swimming pools. We have a plan to build swimming pools, to offer swimming lessons to the community, so that will be the front facing of the building. And then in the back, we have an 8-foot fence that's going up today, that will hide all of our vehicles and all of that. That was approved in our letter of purchase when we purchased the property. The main reason why we are applying for the M1 is just for like an excavator and a trailer just to be on site behind that 8-foot fence. And so I read the M1 rules and I understand, you know, the reason for denial, thinking that this is gonna be like a commercial dump site or a demolition. You know, I have the list right here. We're not looking to do any of that. It's just to be able to have a machine on site behind a fence. And then another part of that reason is that we service and maintain swimming pools. And so we have chemicals that were outside of the building. And we were told that they have to come inside of the building. So we're just concerned that that might be like a hazard concern with the fire department. And so we've applied to extend that building. Sorry, I'm nervous. And we were told that we couldn't extend it over 7,500 square feet of warehousing. So even with a covered roof, we couldn't have that extension to keep the chemicals outside. So the plan would be all of that, you see the building is long, to have it all behind the street, behind a fence, nothing is seen. And if you know anything about the lot that was purchased before, it was an RV lot, tons of RVs. As the guy said earlier, we're a local business, just looking to make it look better. And we don't want any of it seen from the street. I don't know if that matters with the zoning or not, but that's why we're requesting it.
Do you have any, commissioners have any questions for the applicant?
You said it was an RV lot next to it, or?
It was an RV lot, so like if you look at the photo, all of those are RVs.
Is that Pete?
It was Pete's, yes, sir. So right now, like where that building is, right, the building immediately, there's a fence, so everything beyond the building is not seen from the street, or it won't be. And then there will be beautiful swimming pools where we're gonna offer swimming lessons to the community, and it's gated off in the front. So the front is the design center to build and design swimming pools, and then the pools will be in the front, and then everything else behind that will be covered with an 8-foot fence that was approved by the city. And on the right side of us is a plumbing company, and on the left side of us is a used car lot. You can see all of the cars. And right behind that used car lot is an M1 building as well. Any other questions for the applicant? This is an advertised public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak regarding this rezoning request?
Is the light industrial that's up there now, so like obviously behind the property, and that's adjoining the property, that's light industrial and starting to get across the street, is that helping this case? Or it, to help this rezone or no?
It's not open for discussion.
I got you, okay, we just didn't understand.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak regarding this request? Hearing none, the floor is now closed, and we will entertain a motion.
I move that we deny staff's recommendation.
Okay, so you're you'll always give me this negative, these negative motions, but what are positively what we are approving the request?
It will approve.
So
Deny
you're
this.
recommending approval of the request, okay, all right. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded that we approve this request for rezoning. Discussion?
I have a question for staff. To make this compliant with the city's goals, technically, if they just, would they be able to split these lots, just rezone the back portion to make it in line with the current M1 directly to the left of it? And then that way, the front portion of this lot will still remain as a B2. Basically, the comprehensive plan for traffic use.
We do allow for split zones,
As an alternative for them, that sounds like that might be a solution. If the front portion of their building is gonna remain business, the front portion can remain B2. If they filed zone, have the back portion for the excavator, for the chemicals, etc. as M1, and then it could align to the width of the property directly to the left, to match current zoning.
Because it backs up into M1.
Yeah, directly to the left of it, and also then that way B2 remains the front center of Dorchester Road. I mean, is that something that staff would consider?
Interrupt. Let's focus on the item in front of you all. The hypotheticals make it very difficult for staff to try to make decisions off the.
So then, to rephrase it, is that legal within?
As I said.
I don't think we should look at alternatives. We should be looking at what's presented and whether or not we agree that the zoning is appropriate.
That's my question.
Are we still in discussion? Any further discussion? If not, we're ready to vote.
So the motion on the floor is a recommendation of approval to rezone the property from B2 general business to M1 light industrial. Mr. Bellamy? Aye. Mr. Crawford?
Aye.
Mr. Duon?
Aye on denial.
I got it, so it would be a
Yeah,
name, I got it, I got it.
Yep. Mr. Fike?
Aye.
Mr. Mock?
Aye.
Mr. Scarf?
Aye.
And Ms. Reed?
I'm confused. I am voting against approval.
Okay, so
So
it's
that
a
would be
nay. Okay, so that is 3 to 4, the nays have it. So recommendation of denial will be forwarded to the mayor and council. For the next opportunity of public input at the Public Safety Committee of City Council on January 15th at 5:30 in this room.
Coordinator, does that mean we come back again and
Yes.
reject? Okay.
You'll have another opportunity, city council ultimately makes the decision as to the rezonings, the final decision. And so you'll get another opportunity to speak and be able to sign up similar to the situation to address the council.
And one more question on the public safety meeting, what is their purview, like what are they evaluating?
City council, they'll be reviewing the
Not
conference.
the city council, the next one, you said safety,
Yes,
the
that it's a
Public
committee,
safety of city
it's
council.
the public safety.
You guys have questions?
All right, next agenda item is text amendment. Consideration of text amendment.
This is an ordinance amending section 3.2 of the zoning regulations of the city of North Charleston to update and clarify the definition of a heavy commercial trailer. So within the definition section of the zoning regulations, there's a definition of a heavy commercial trailer, and it's been determined that large commercial trailers are not generally compatible within residential neighborhoods in the city. The existing definition requires that a large commercial trailer meet all of the standards listed to be considered a commercial trailer. The proposed definition allows for clearer understanding and enforcement of zoning requirements regarding this type of trailer. You can see the red line here. Previously, all of the conditions was being used for commercial purpose and having more than 4 tires and which is greater than, so it had to be all of those things to be considered a heavy commercial trailer. What we've done is simplified that, broken it out so that we could address these types of trailers. Typically, they're gonna be greater than 15 feet in overall length and have at least 4 tires if it has a double axle trailer. So that was the basis of this modification to that. We also added that boat trailers are not considered heavy commercial trailers regardless of length and number of tires. We do understand that many boat trailers happen to be have 2 sets of axles, and we wanted to address that situation.
Do any of the commissioners have questions or staff regarding this?
Does this have to be dual axle, did you say, or?
It would have to have 4 or more. We didn't address the
Alright,
axles.
so I have an enclosed trailer, and there's a lot of enclosed trailers that are 8x16. It's got four more than 4 tires on it, which typically most landscape, anything that your tools, anything that you got in it, so now it's not, wouldn't be allowed inside a neighborhood. Versus a dump truck that I think we already got an ordinance.
Yeah,
You can't have that anyway.
A heavy commercial vehicle such as that would not be permitted to be stored on a residential lot. Typically, these are the larger, much longer vehicles. There goes the computer. That are carrying multiple vehicles on the trailer, and it's just been an issue, and enforcement needed ability to differentiate and address those concerns within the neighborhoods.
Okay, so an enclosed trailer that's 16 feet that has more than 4 tires on it would not be allowed.
That's correct. As of the writing of this, the way it's written now, yes.
Are there other questions? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept staff's recommendation for this text amendment. Are you ready for discussion? Are we ready to vote?
Motion on the floor is a recommendation of approval of the modifications to section 3.2 to update and clarify the definition of heavy commercial trailer. Mr. Bellamy? Aye. Mr. Crawford? Aye. Mr. Duan?
Aye.
Mr. Fife?
Aye.
Mr. Mock?
Nay.
Mr. Scarve?
Aye.
And Ms. Reed?
Aye.
And this text amendment will also be heard at the Public Safety Committee meeting on January 15th at 5:30 in this room. The next item on the agenda is, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry. I was just rolling, I apologize.
Next item on the agenda is approval of a revised preliminary plat.
This is proposed approval of revised preliminary plat bearing a title preliminary plat for TMS number 484-0000072. Havenwood Apartments at St. Ives for the establishment of 2 15-foot CWS easements, the relocation of a 20-foot NCSD and variable width public drainage easement, and the abandonment of an access easement. So this was a previously approved preliminary plat that does require reapproval. The recommendation, staff's recommendation is contingent approval. Thank you. So the original preliminary plat was approved in October of 2024 and is valid for a year, which has since expired. Preliminary plat is for the future Havenwood Apartments at St. Ives and proposed to abandon and relocate an existing public drainage easement and several other easements. The parcel is located in St. Ives Road off Green Ridge Road. The only change to this plat from the previously approved version is a minor shift in the proposed sewer easement location. This preliminary plat is in proper order and may be approved at the discretion of the commission contingent upon the following: approval of detailed drainage and road plans by the city engineer. Staff's recommendation is contingent approval of the preliminary plat.
Are there any questions for staff regarding this? Any questions for staff? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion.
Move that we accept staff's recommendation for contingent approval.
It's been moved and seconded that we grant contingent approval of this revised preliminary plat. Is there any discussion? We're ready to vote.
Alright, the motion on the floor is for a recommendation of contingent approval, or is not a recommendation, it's for contingent approval. Mr. Bellamy? Aye. Mr. Crawford? Aye. Mr. Duan?
Aye.
Mr. Fife?
Aye.
Mr. Mock? Aye. Mr. Scarf?
Aye.
And Ms. Reed?
Aye.
Nice.
Okay, please be mindful of the summary of actions taken by council at its November 13th and November 25th meetings regarding recommendations that we made. Are there any comments from commissioners before we proceed to adjourn?
Got it.
Any comments from commissioners? Okay, we do have comments from staff.
For those who may be aware and those who may not be aware, the city council recently approved staff to move forward with contract with an outside consultant to contract to do a complete zoning rewrite of the city. The intent is to develop a unified development ordinance, which is a zoning document that compiles all of our development ordinances into a single document. That would include our subdivision regulations, stormwater, zoning ordinance, so on and so forth. We will be kicking off that process here shortly. We're looking to hopefully get that contract signed quickly and then kick off the process in January of 2026 with an anticipated completion in hopefully June of 2027. That's a very ambitious timeline to do this project. It would involve complete rezoning of the entire city. So all parcels will be looked at and we're hoping to present to the planning commission monthly our progress and as we go through. We'll also be part of stakeholder meetings to discuss that information. Going forward, the consultant has a very, very good plan for public engagement to really reach out to the citizens of the city to engage them and let them know how these changes, potential changes, will potentially affect their properties and their ability to use their property based on the zoning ordinance that we'll eventually adopt. So, yes, sir.
Well, I think that's probably a really a good idea, but along with that, I think they should be really careful about how they present things. They should present it so that the common man can understand it without having to have major legislation to lawyers and stuff to explain it. It ought to be what's the word I want to use?
Self-explanatory.
Easy to understand, you know.
And that is the reason why we selected the group that we did select to move forward with. They have presented an excellent public outreach program, and this is what they do. You know, they rewrite zoning ordinances. You know, they've done multiple in various states, and all have resulted in good outcomes and good engagement and clear, concise documents with good exhibits, so that the general public doesn't need necessarily a lawyer to decipher what's
Right,
being
lawyer
said.
ease kills a lot of people. I mean, they can't understand it.
No offense.
There's a lot of us all the time. Hey, I love him to death,
So the intent is to try to get rid of a lot of that lawyerese from 1974 that our ordinance is based on, and move it forward into, you know, this time with pictures and exhibits and tables instead of just word salad. So we will be bringing it to you all to discuss, and ultimately it'll be up to you to make a recommendation based on what's presented.
I do hope that we make sure that we are addressing all of the neighborhoods in some form.
Yeah,
That we don't hold meetings where a certain neighborhood would have to take 3 buses to get there, that we do enough, even if it means 5 community
There will
meetings
be
or
more than
something,
that.
yeah, okay, great.
There will be more than that.
I'm glad to hear that,
we-
you know, that's always my concern.
Yes, that was our concern as well.
Okay, good.
So that was our full intent, is to engage not just small pockets, but as broadly
Great.
as possible, both in face-to-face, electronically, and you know, as many ways as possible.
And in some circumstances, maybe you could bring it to individual communities that don't have transportation to their civic club meetings and so forth. You know, and that would be a help, because we have a lot of elderly people in our civic club, and they can't go out at night. And so, you know, they need to have representation also.
Yep, and you know, that's part of the reason why we're trying to bring on more staff. We have Ella Dodd sitting in the audience over there. Today was actually her first day.
We should have introduced you, I'm
Well, I'm
sorry,
doing it
while
now.
everybody was here.
I'm doing it now. This is staff comments. This is her first day, but her background is community planning, so you know, that's the intent, is to bring these discussions directly to the community. Not to do it from a top down, but try to do it from a bottom up fashion. That's right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else to come before this group? Hearing none, I'm sorry, did somebody say something?
In case I don't get to see you all again this year, Merry Christmas.
Oh, you're right, this is December meeting, Merry Christmas, everybody. This meeting stands adjourned.